Hi, welcome to Hot Chocolate Hits. I'm Vedika and today I'm going to show you how to make pumpkin scones because it's fall and why not. So let's get started. So I have your 2 cups of all-purpose flour, and to this flour I'm going to add some spices. I have here half a teaspoon of cinnamon, half a teaspoon of ground nutmeg, this is freshly ground nutmeg, and a 1/4 teaspoon of ground cloves. You can also add a 1/4 teaspoon of ground ginger, but I don't have any today. Let's just add that in. I also have a tablespoon of baking powder and half a teaspoon of salt, which I'm also going to add in. Also add in 7 tablespoons of granulated sugar. And I'm just going to whisk that together. Now I'm going to add in a 1/3 cup of cold butter. And it's been chopped up, and I'm just going to kind of ground it into the flour. You can do this in a food processor, but I have this pastry blender, so I want to do it with that today. And just ground it until everything, all the butter is incorporated and the mixture resembles breadcrumbs. So as you can see, the mixture resembles coarse breadcrumbs, and it actually smells like fall because there's something about cinnamon, nutmeg, cloves that just brings fall to your house. It will smell absolutely divine when you bake it. So I'm going to set that aside for a bit. And in a bowl I'm going to combine half a cup of pumpkin puree. I'm using fresh pumpkin puree that I made with a Hokkaido pumpkin, or it's a squash I think. And if you look at the color, it's just such an amazing color. It kind of resembles the color of turmeric, but it's really delicious. This pumpkin is very sweet and very good for baking. You can also use the store-bought canned pumpkin puree, but fresh is just better, and plus I don't get canned pumpkin puree in Poland. So I'm going to crack in an egg as well. And I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of heavy cream. You can use 50/50 or milk. But cream gives the scones a much richer texture. I'm also going to add about half a teaspoon of vanilla extract, because you always add vanilla extract when you're baking. And now I'm just going to whisk these together. Okay, that's well combined. Look at this, it resembles mango lassi. I don't think you can guess that it's pumpkin puree. So now I'm going to gently pour this into my spice flour mixture. And just kind of combine this together until it forms a dough. And that's what I call fall in a bowl. So now when it becomes more difficult to combine the mixture, just put it onto a lightly floured surface. Just knead it a couple of times to get everything incorporated into the dough. So once your dough is formed kind of a nice ball, just press it down into a circle about 1 inch or 1/2 inch thick. Cut it into half first. And then just cut those halves into quarters. And cut those quarters into half. And you're left with triangles. So I have a baking sheet lined with parchment paper, and I'm just going to kind of take these triangles and put them on. So once you've got all 8 pieces onto a piece of parchment paper, I switched to a larger tray because I needed more space. Just bake these in a 420° Fahrenheit or 220° Celsius oven for 14 to 16 minutes, or until it becomes lightly golden brown. I've taken the scones out of the oven, and as you can see, they're a beautiful golden brown. The edges are kind of crisp, and they've cooled completely. So now I'm going to get started on the glaze. I have here a cup of powdered sugar, and to that cup I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of milk. And I'm also going to add a splash of vanilla. And just whisk together. So once your glaze has reached a nice smooth consistency, just take some, place a tablespoon-sized helping on top of the scone, and just kind of help spread it out a little bit. It will fall to the sides. So as you can see, I've finished putting all the glaze on the scones. So now we're going to take it one step further. I have here half a cup of powdered sugar. I have a 1/4 teaspoon cinnamon, an 1/8 teaspoon of nutmeg, and a pinch of ground cloves, and they're all ground up. I'm just going to stir that together. And now I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of milk. And I put the brown glaze into a piping bag. I'm just going to snip off the edge. And now just drizzle it over the scones like so. And you're done. So now I'm just going to grab this one and I'm going to take a bite. It's like fall in my mouth. I can taste the cinnamon, I can taste the nutmeg. It smells absolutely divine. And look at the color. I just love this color. You can see specks of nutmeg. It's absolutely gorgeous, and it's still a little bit warm. It's the perfect start to fall, and the perfect way to use a pumpkin. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed learning how to make pumpkin scones, and I will see you next time. And now just let me finish my scone.